Hey there, how is business? Would you like to advertise with us at Mainland 98.3 FM, where you get to connect with a large base of passionate fans and ardent listeners of our broadcast? We have flexible and highly competitive advert rates to suit your needs by negotiation. Contact us today on 0913 6000 420, 0913 6000 420, or send an email to info@mainlandfm.com.
Welcome back. You're still listening to Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. My name is Sage Babalola, and it's time now for Mainland Focus. Let's focus on stories that we consider to be important, give you more analysis on the stories, and of course, allow you the luxury of calling in and giving your opinions on the particular selected stories. Now, if you were joining us during Trends in the Papers, you saw that because of time, we were unable to get through some of these stories, and we would like to take about, say, 3 minutes to analyze one story before we get into the primary focus for this morning. Fuad Said is here with me in the studio, and of course together we would be reviewing the stories and taking your contributions. Fuad, good morning to you once again.
Good morning, Sage.
Yes. All right. So we're going to talk about what happened with the decision of the tribunal regarding the elections. That's for the PDP candidate, the nullification of Labour Party's election, and the declaration of the PDP candidate Elumelu as winner. So let me read that story so people understand. Now, National Assembly Election Petition Tribunal, sitting in Asaba, Delta State, has nullified the election of members representing Aniocha Oshimili constituency at the House of Representatives. That's Mr. Ngozi Okoli. Okoli is one of the Labour Party members that was declared winner of the February 25 House of Representative election. Now, here's this. Elumelu, who is the PDP candidate, in a petition argued that Okoli was not properly sponsored by the Labour Party and he did not resign his position as a public office holder before he decided to run for this particular position. And Fuad, we know what the Electoral Act says about resigning your position before you can run. So talk to us about this technicality and a replication that we might see.
Again, this is not the focus. We just want to quickly, within 1 or 2 minutes, talk about it. And it's important because, again, we are on the last lap of the elections. The courts are going to be delivering judgment. The petition tribunals, the appeal courts will be delivering judgment. And it's important, like I said, that, look, before now I've always said it, Sage, that court decisions are going to be based on technicalities, documentary evidence, facts, and even logic, how you are able to present your case. And here we are seeing an election nullified on technical grounds. Well, this is a petition tribunal level. I'm sure this case will get to the appeal court, which is the final level for National Assembly elections. But it's important for us to pay attention to Section 77, 2 and 3 of the Electoral Act, on which ground this judgment was delivered. And it was a unanimous decision by the 3 justices of the Petition Tribunal on the fact that, look, what the law says basically is that, look, parties are supposed to submit to INEC the list of their party members 30 days before primaries of their party, so that nobody contests without being a member of the party. So 30 days before primaries, the list must get to INEC. And in this case, witnesses, documentary evidence showed that, look, the supposed winner was not on the list of the party as a party member submitted to INEC before the primaries. And that indeed there were questions to whether primaries were actually held and all of that. If you remember, a lot of these guys who picked up the Labour Party ticket, were last minute decampees who saw the trajectory of Peter Obi and all of that and quickly moved and then, of course, got the ticket. So why we are saying this is that, again, we are saying that, look, some of these cases are not going to be determined on emotions, but on technical grounds, on logic, on facts, sometimes documentary evidence. You remember that even the APC appeal at the presidential elections, as we speak, also questions the eligibility of Mr. Peter Obi to run for president. Right. Again, the courts will decide. This is not the final level on this case from Delta State. on this particular one. I'm sure there's also an opportunity for an appeal, which is the second stage and the final stage for National Assembly elections. I've always said it. For the governorship petitions, it will go through the wires till the last level, 3 stages: petition, tribunal, appeal, and the Supreme Court. The presidential from the appeal to the Supreme. But again, it's important that we pay attention to these things and why some of these judgments are coming like this. We've seen some of our colleagues in other platforms trying to analyze court processes. It's unprofessional to do that. We can talk about judgments like this, but not to begin to go sub judice by trying to analyze. Look, a lot of people have been talking about closing statements from political parties at the presidential petition tribunal and all of that, trying to analyze it, even justify statements and all of that. It is unprofessional. But again, ours is to stay away from things like that, because professionally you are not supposed to do that. But when judgments are made, it's important that we pay attention and talk about it.
So we might see a lot of technicalities, across all the other tribunals that we have.
Not impossible.
Like this, right? All right, then. That is not the focus for the day, like we said before. We just wanted to get through that particular story as an update of what's going on in the tribunal. So for the focus for today, we're going to be focusing on 2 primary stories. We're talking about the statement by former President Olusegun Obasanjo, and also the position of the labor unions in the country regarding the increasing price of PMS at this time. So as you know, former President Olusegun Obasanjo has highlighted that the concept of development has been almost impossible to reach for us in Nigeria because of the shallow thinking of those who have led us in the country, and also because even we as a people, we as the electorate, are so soaked up in religious, ethnic sentiment, among other things. So we're asking you the questions about the cluelessness of most of our leaders. What do you make of the statement by the former president? Do you agree that the cluelessness of leaders is why we have remained as stunted as we are, and also the role that even we as a people have played in this entire situation? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Whatever your position might be, when you call, you can tell us why or why not. Now, speaking about Labour, ASU, and what they have said so far, and the ultimatum that they're granting to the federal government, we're asking you the question: is the option of strike action a good one for the Labour in their negotiations with the government? Do you think that the threat of an industrial action is what is the next line of action? Also, what other options are open to Labour, ASU, and other unions as they negotiate with the government? So those are the 2 focus for the day, and those are the aspects that we would be casting our focus on for this morning. Fuad, I know you've mentioned it during trends in the papers, but just solidify.
No, I'm going to make it very brief
on the matter.
Yes. The first focus, it's very simple. You can't fault the statement by the former president, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, as to the level of cluelessness of our leaders at all levels, from the presidential to the state level to local government level. If you speak with our politicians, our so-called leaders, even at the state assembly, national assembly level, you understand why it is extremely difficult to fault that statement from the former president, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. And if it's not even about the fact that you listen to these guys or look at them, the current state of the nation speaks volumes about that level of cluelessness from our leaders. But I always have a situation where it's easy to take the statement, but again look at the person bringing up the statement, his own roles too. And I say that, look, it would have been nice to hear from him if he considers himself a part of those clueless leaders who have dragged the country aground. We knew that he ruled the country as Minister of State, although very short time. But for 8 years, what did he do as president? What were his roles? What foundation did he lay for a prosperous Nigeria? Those things still have a lot of questions hanging around them. The high point will be his own elections too. The beneficiary said it was the worst election ever. And even himself in the campaign ground has said that it was going to be a do or die affair. We remember the episode of the 3rd term. The reality is that, look, if there was a man, I'm going to repeat it again, that God had blessed, gave every opportunity to turn the fortunes of Nigeria around, it was former President Olusegun Obasanjo. But he thwarted it. He thwarted it because instead of building a political legacy, he was trying to build a political empire. And it failed. It failed. The way he was removing party leaders, the way he was removing governors. Look, in his tenure, what happened to a lot of governors that were removed illegally? Only for the cost to return them. Even though Mr. Peter Obi suffered it too. So, you see, the reality is that, look, Baba had an opportunity to lay a very solid foundation for a politically prosperous, economically prosperous Nigeria. But he failed. So, again, if he considers a lot of our leaders clueless, my own opinion, that he should top that list. So I rest my case on that.
All right.
Now, on the issue of
The labor. Yeah.
Again, I said it. The labor should be ready that the government will go to court to declare whatever strike action illegal. We saw it with ASU. I kept telling ASU, do you have a plan B? And it happened. Eventually, the industrial court ruled against their industrial action, and they were thrown into confusion. The strike action is probably the only tool Labour has been trying to use to negotiate with government. And I think government to a great extent has now found a way around it. All they need to do is to go to the court and get a judgment to say it is illegal. So if that happens, what other option is open to Labour? I think they have to begin to think about it because it's going to happen as it is. So again, it's very tough one for Labour because the government again has now made everything more confusing. You know, Labour now has to negotiate with all the 36 state governors because again, what they are now saying is that look, state governors should go and decide their own minimum wage. The federal government is not yet constituted, so whoever they are even negotiating with now is not anything official. You know, look at the resident doctors. The speaker had to go and talk to them.
Yeah, please.
And I was saying, what's the job of the speaker talking to resident doctors? If we had a minister for health, for example, it should be the one negotiating with them. And the resident doctors have told him that, look, whatever you have come to do is just it's an unofficial visit. There's nothing official to it. And they have given, I think, a 24 or 48 hours ultimatum that some of their demands should be met, or else the resident doctors are still going to embark on the strike. So it's a completely confused situation. That was why I gave you the analogy that no doctor will take a patient, no matter how it is an emergency. You know, take a patient to a surgical room without preparing for an anesthesia or a recovery plan. We did that with subsidy removal, and the confusion is what we have now.
Right. Thank you very much, Fuad. Let's open the phone lines now and hear what you have to say about the focus for the day. We're talking about the statement by the former President Olusegun Obasanjo and also the position of Labour regarding the state of the economy. 0913 6000 410 is the phone line. For text messages and WhatsApp messages, we have 0913 6000 430. If you want to interact with us via our streaming platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Mainland 98.3 FM, and on Twitter at Mainland FM. Let's have our first call for this morning. Hello. Yes, good morning to you. Yes, sir.
Morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
May God bless all of you. Mr. Fuad, every day now you. You and your two best half. May God bless all of you.
Amen.
Thank you.
You see, Baba Obasanjo.
Hello? Oh.
Okay.
I think we lost that particular call. Please try to make
You
it.
know that's me.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. Please go ahead.
You know, I love Baba. But what I want you everybody to understand, if we do our problem to be start from 1966, that downturn that people want to take over the country. So then, if we have been having democracy since that time, I'm telling you, Nigeria can be where we are. And for Baba Obasanjo, what are you talking about? Someone will tell me, just to talk about the message, forget the message, that the messenger is have 70% of our problem today. Because when it comes for the second coming, all our industry were privatized so long with their crony. And today, what we have, so for me, even the talk of only that for the refinery, you beat one of them, when it was a military, I went to Nigeria because it's later bringing confusion. What I'm talking about, if he had to blame himself, I can't give him 70% blame for a problem in this country today. So every time written letter, as if he's the only one that is white, as if he's the only one that is not. And when the government will know what happened. Oh, Baba, and for the Labour Congress, they should know how to treat the people. Labour Congress will not go on strike. They should make sure they sit down with the committee they were talking. Therefore, what we give up palliative. And the best of palliative, I'm still repeating, a lot of buses should be on the street, on the road, for we poor people and policemen to enjoy it. Let me stop that before that people come in.
Right.
Good morning to you, my dear.
Good morning to you, Prince Wise. Thank you very much. Hello. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Madam Smith.
Yes, good morning to you, sir.
my dear friend Fuad.
Good morning,
God
sir.
bless you.
Amen.
Yes. How are you today?
Well, fine.
Yes. Only two issues we are focusing on. First of all, in regards to that of former President Obasanjo, I think that his most of the things he talks about, I see them as euphemistic, afterthought. Because like my friend Fuad said, if you weigh a lot of the things he said since he left office, it's like this is their deal. But when he was there, he never did anything about it. So I kind of he fell short of blaming himself for what he did not do. So he tried to talk in general terms. Being that as he did, I think that the things he said is supposed to be is true. What leaders are supposed to do, even though he did not do it, he thinks it is better to lead than never. That's why he says those things. Actually, when you look at it, his action regarding to the 1978 Land Use Act, which placed all things under the ground as property of the federal government, especially the oil. That is one of the things that has set us back, where NNPC became a property of the federal government with all the massive corruption. This is not how countries run here. Listen, in the U.S., the oil under the ground belongs to companies,
Thank you.
not to the government.
Thank you very much.
Government only is supposed to collect taxes,
Thank you.
But here, NNPC is immersed in massive corruption.
Thank you very much for your contribution. Hello.
Hello, Baba.
Yes, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Alaji Suba.
Yes, welcome.
Yeah, the first focus is the former President Obasanjo.
Yes.
You should understand that if you don't have anything, to say to Nigeria, is just keep quiet. It's all the statement does not hold water. Obasanjo puts Nigeria into this calamity. Let me tell you, the issue of politicians, the mongoose salary, the politicians are taking now. Obasanjo causes it, right from councillor to presidency. Is the one that gives this mongoose salary, and that is why they are killing themselves. They believe politics, is just where they can make money. We originated it. So look at the ratio. It's where it's living. So, and he's now talking of Nigeria, the economy of Africa. So if you don't have anything to say, you just keep quiet. So on the issue of labor, laborers will understand that. Look, it is not only themselves. Where are they? Where the former president Buhari, used 8 years, he failed to sustain one refinery. They should not be thinking of themselves alone. They should be thinking of the economic recovery of this country. So they should go and sit down. They are their own. We didn't even see them where they're supposed to be. So they should not draw us back.
Thank you. Thank you for your contribution. Hello. Hello. Okay, call us back if you can. Hello. All right. Probably something with the phone lines. What we're going to do is take messages for now until we're able to see what's going on with the phone lines. On WhatsApp, we have here, good morning, Sage. Former President Obasanjo has stated the obvious. My plea to him is to let him meet all the past presidents of our country, Nigeria, who are still alive. That is former Presidents Babangida, Gowon, Jonathan, Buhari, and Abdulsalam. Let them confess all they have done to the country and repent, and then refund all the money they have wrongly acquired and show us the way forward. Until this is done, Obasanjo's talk has no basis. Benjamin from Shogunle sent that particular message. Also here, good morning, crew. Fuad, your analysis on OBJ is spot on. The same OBJ that is the grand patron of corruption since the Fourth Republic. Same OBJ that was impeaching elected state governors and will be replacing them with his tutelage. That Baba must think we have short memory. Benga listening from Abeokuta. Thank you very much, Benga, for listening. Good morning, crew. Fuad, your analysis on the budget for the mass burial is also spot on, but I feel you are a bit harsh on the Lagos state government on the management of the NSAS crisis. The governor actually managed the crisis well. It could have been worse if not for him. Benga, also listening from Abeokuta. Thank you very much for your analysis. Israel from Lagos says, it's very unfortunate that such a great truth comes from a leader who did not lead by example. This is clear hypocrisy and an attention-seeking statement. Israel from Lagos, thank you. I'll take a few from the Facebook platform, and then go back to the phone lines. Hopefully we have a handle on it by then. Chris Oloja says, good morning, great guys. The two labor unions should please bury their faces in shame. They only know how to blow hot air. Queen Oluwatoyin says, politicians are our problem in Nigeria. Those are the messages we have so far. So keep the messages coming in, 0913 6000 430. And for phone calls, 0913 6000 410. Hello. Hello, good morning. Yes, hello. Can you? All right. Let's see if we can take another phone call. Hello. Yes, good morning to you. Can you hear us? Okay, please go ahead.
John from
All right,
Mr. John. Good morning, sir.
Welcome.
Yes, your analysis of Basanjo is more than accurate, honestly. Top notch. He should bury his head in shame. It's an elderly man that is careless with statements. He was only playing to the guy with words. He's not serious. He's taking us for a fool. Instead of building his issue and he institutionalizing himself, he didn't say we are crazy or we don't have something upstairs. Like him, good morning.
All right.
Rubbish.
Oh my God. Good morning to you.
Hello, good day. This is Edward from Alako, Lagos State.
All right, welcome, Edward.
Please, my contribution this morning is to help me beg Mr. President. A bag of rice is now 45,000 in Songo. A bag of rice is now 45,000. This man made 27,500. This man will keep Nigeria.
All right. Thank you for your contribution. Hello.
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning to you.
Yes, I am Oyaka. I'm calling you from Ilepo.
All right.
Yes. You know, at times, if ex-president Obasanjo talk, I believe it's an old age that is worrying him. I'm sorry to say so. How can he go to a meeting like that? He'll be insulting everybody. He'll be insulting everybody, including himself. Let him insult himself alone, not insulting everybody. It's one of the problems that is one of the things that caused the problem in this country. When he was the president, what president? What? When did anything? He only corrupt when the Tinubu was contesting. Tinubu said that he the most corrupt man in the country, and that's why he is. Let him stop talking. Let him be silent and talk about silent. In a meeting where people like him, we are insulting them, but they don't know what they are doing.
Okay. Thank you so much for your contribution. Let's take another phone call. Hello. 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 All right. We're going to take WhatsApp. Okay. Good morning to you.
I'm Agweme Edward, calling from Tango.
All right. Welcome.
In respect of people this Obasanjo issue, many people suppose not to be condemning Obasanjo because in his tenure, the economy was stable. All this rubbish we are getting now is not there. And let people remember that this living handset we are using now, that everybody can buy house, can buy small, can buy any kind of thing. It is during Obasanjo government that people get that access. And there is no other government that have given us even a token as Obasanjo has given us. It is the only one in this US canal zone that criticizes Obasanjo. Other zones do not criticize Obasanjo. So on the aspect of an issue of
labor.
Let someone know what he's doing exactly. And let the Nigeria Bar Association for Human Rights or Freedom in Nigeria, let the president of Nigeria Bar Association look into someone issue. And let him.
All right. That's not the focus of the day. Please stay on point. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, morning to you, sir.
This is Timothy Kaliyi from Ojo.
All right, please go on, sir.
That was good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Timothy. Been a while.
Yes. Sometimes we talk. Nothing changes. We relax with some. Why? Listen to me. See, government is supposed to be a continuous thing, and it needs to be improved upon. Any mistake one makes, the other one coming supposed to see the error and not improve on it. See, we're talking about Obasanjo lambasting him in this manner. For me, it's like it doesn't even water now for many Nigerians. Because why? The APC that came after the era of PDP, they saw the mistake that PDP made. They told us they want to bring change. What are we seeing now? Reverse is the case. Are you with me?
Yes.
The way Obasanjo made this economy is still the way it is today. Many Nigerians will be dancing on the street. We will be happy. Are you with me? See, the APC have made Obasanjo a greater saint. Because I don't think if APC have chance to spend 15 years in power, that Nigeria will still be the same. People are dying of hunger. You see what somebody just told you from Ogun State now? The bag of rice 40-something thousand. See, what are we talking about? Let APC put their house in order. So the judgment that, by the way, the judgment that just came from tribunal.
That's not the focus of Mr. Timothy.
I know. I just want to make a comment. Just briefly. See, if you want to go by that. Hello?
Mr. That's not the focus. All right, please. Let's not open the portal for people to start to select the stories that they like. All right,
okay.
Please. Thank you so much for understanding. Hello, good morning to you.
Babalola, how are you? Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, Ogami Fuad, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, Ogami, I want to say that in the Bible, that I understand, Saul was the hater of the Christians. But he later became a prolific preacher, and the Christian did not refer to his past. They were working with his future. So I think whatever mistake Obasanjo has made in the past, all that we should do now is to tell Obasanjo, since you have identified that it is Nigerian leaders that have disappointed the whole world, making Nigeria now the poverty capital of the world with so many children out of school, the worst economy, the worst security. So we should tell Obasanjo, can you now, convert the conference or summit of all past leaders, and then talk with them and see how they can tell us, yes, we did this, this is reparation. We need reparation from all the old leaders, including him, because he did not exonerate himself, he did not exclude himself. He said leaders. So he's one of them. Can we just advise him and take his message? Because there's nothing about it. So do we say that because Obasanjo did not get it right, nobody should get it right, Obasanjo should not point out what he did wrong, and that please don't go that way? I don't like when we are talking to his personality. All of them made mistakes. Let us see how to recover Nigeria from their hands. Because it's like Nigeria is in their hands. And for Labour, please, Labour, don't talk tough. Act tough. What do? Go to the industrial port. Go and tell them you want to go on strike. They should give you permission. So that when you say the strike, they will not tell you that it is illegal. Go and get the currency from them. One finally, please, brethren. Can Nigerians look at this statement? Don't come and steal Nigerians, steal corruption. Catch all the thieves, both petroleum thieves, money thieves, whatever thieves, gun thieves, get all of them and recover our money.
Thank you.
And let Nigeria live. Don't increase, educational fund.
Thank you. Have a fantastic day. Thank you so very much. We have a few messages on the WhatsApp and the Facebook platform. Facebook, we have messages here. Good morning, Mainland FM. I think Baba Obasanjo should not talk again in the country. He had the opportunity to do all he's bringing to us, and now he did nothing. Adebayo Tunde on Facebook sent that. Still on Facebook, Dayo Dada says, morning crew, a lie may go for 1,000 years, but one day the truth will pass. This NSAS massacre, is not the focus of the day. I'm so sorry. Alonge Gwenga says, as rightly said by Fuad, OBJ had the best opportunity ever to position our institution rightly and make them strong. but instead he abused and bastardized all the institutions, from INEC to EFCC to ICPC, the National Assembly, etc. Joshua says, good morning. I want to say, whether we like it or not, what Obasanjo said is right. And to the best of my knowledge, he's the most knowledgeable among all our leaders so far, despite the fact that he has his own errors. Let's forget this sentiment. That's what Gbenga is telling us for now. What has been the vision of the country, considering the kind of leaders we have? Let us stop faulting Obasanjo about what he did and look at the solution to our problem. Thank you very much, Joshua, for your message. I'll go back to phone calls, and then the next time I read messages, it will be from the WhatsApp platform. 0913-6000-410. Hello.
Hello, good morning. Hi.
Yes. Morning to you.
Yeah. The name is Amaka.
Okay.
Can I go on?
Please go on.
Okay. Oh, thanks, Fuad. Like, each time Obasanjo makes a comment, people sort of act like he's a demon or anything. By my own estimation, Obasanjo is pretty much the best leader we've had since the beginning of the Fourth Republic. Because look at the ministers he had. Look, Obasanjo has his own problems. He has his own errors and defects. But then again, he knew what he was doing. His ministers were pretty much, what do they call it, professionals. Without him, who would have known Okonjo Iweala and all that, all of them? You know, so when people criticize Obasanjo, I think it's from a place of deep-seated hatred. And it's not wise. It's not right. He has done what he has to do. How long has Obasanjo is in his 80s? He has lived his best life. Whatever he's saying is for our own good. I mean, is it worse than the people you have in government today? If you want to reckon, can you put them side by side with the last leader, who in my estimation does not even qualify as a local government chairman? He doesn't. So we do this mistake of voting for the worst of us. Every election cycle or election period presents a time of foolishness to Nigerians, because that's when even the wise becomes foolish. That's why we keep voting the most wrong people in government. Let's not blame Obasanjo. They have said the truth. And in our own usual way of not wanting to listen to the truth, want to fight them.
All right.
That's the wise and emotionally intelligent for once.
Thank you, Emeka, for your submission. Hello.
Good morning.
Yes, morning to you.
James from Sarah.
All right.
Obasanjo is the amount from 1999 is the best president we have, second by Yar'Adua and Jonathan. Where he get it well? He started kicking against Jonathan and the PDP. He deleted himself from PDP. He supported this very APC. They show uniform for him. They went to Abeokuta to go and for him to embrace them, So why is he talking now? He was the one that caused the defeat of the very PDP that gave him 8 years government. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for your submission. Hello.
Yeah, good morning, Sage.
Yes, good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, my name is Miles Obia.
Nice to have you.
Yeah, Mr. Fair, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
So how are you doing? Thank you for picking my call. I want to slightly, with due respect, my good friend, to this, just about 5%.
You can. You can even disagree 100%. It's your time now to talk.
Now, when a situation a child is crying and pointing at a particular direction, don't you think that it's a time for us to wake up and look at the direction the child is pointing at? Agreed with you completely that on Obasanjo there was some evil, there was some sins he committed, there were some errors. It's just like in China, who got repented. I said, before I was blind, now I can see, my eyes are open. Have we taken time? Can't we take time to ponder over what Obasanjo said? He talked about the unity, he talked about impunity, he talked about nepotism. He said he cannot move forward. He said we have disappointed, we have failed the nation. We have failed our generation. We have failed Africa. We have failed the world, which is true. And himself was part of it. I think we should look inward. Are we united? Is there any traveling going on? Nepotism is going on. Intimacy is going on. The answer is yes and yes. So that's my area. Then on labor, labor should be able to know that no matter how it tries, Nigerians have lost confidence and trust in them. And of course, the government in place will never allow them to succeed. So the best is that let them actually join hands with the master and say we don't need this appellation. God bless you. Have a rest day.
And you too have a better day. All right, let's go to WhatsApp right now. A message here says, "Good morning, Mainland FM. Gege Joshua from Ebute Meta. It's not, if not for the hardship this removal of subsidy has brought, the traffic situation in Lagos now is the best I've ever seen. General Obasanjo is the last of his kind. They become and speak like saints when they leave power. Nigeria ought to have been in peace, living life in a different region, but one of them disagreed, shouting one Nigeria. The doctors should please be calming down. We have too much noise in the land already. They should not come and complicate things for Nigerians." All right. Thank you very much for your submission. Awolo Christopher from Shogunle says, on the Obasanjo statement, he is completely correct, though he shared the blame. Nowadays, he has been doing a lot of things as a private individual to better our society. Labour should consider option of industrial action to attain their goals. If this government were to be in opposition, they would have since gone on industrial action. Beyond that, they would have engineered civil disobedience as they control the machinery of propaganda. This government seems to have bewitched Nigerians. Unfortunately, labor and civil societies should not easily succumb to intimidation. All right. Mainland crew, a lie may go for... Okay, I think I read this on Facebook already. Thank you very much. Good morning, Madam Babalola and Fuad. On the focus of this morning, yes, our rulers are clueless. Fuad is on point about General Obasanjo's statement. Baba should include his name on the list. He's part of the problem we're facing today. Obasanjo was in the best position to reposition and build this country called Nigeria, but he played politics with that opportunity. And the country called Nigeria, I give to him despite everything. He has tried on the area of revamping our economy. If the successive government had built on his foundation, we will not be where we are today. On the issue of NLC, strike seems to be the only language the government understands. The question is strike still working? Government seems to have gotten shield from court over strike. Mr. Indubusi from Igondo, Lagos, thank you very much. Good morning, Madam Presenter and Fuad. Chief Obasanjo is a pan-Nigerian who has always had the masses' interest in mind. This is a man who was able to integrate Nigerians after many years of military rule. This is a man who ensured that a minority individual from Niger Delta region tasted the office of the president. This is a man who increased price of fuel in a systemic way. Instead of making Nigerians poorer, let's forget some of his lapses while in power. His message is timely and must be thoroughly looked into if we are ready to move forward. Noah from Igondo. Let me take one more message and then we can go back to taking phone calls. Good morning, Sage. I support Obasanjo, and please, Sage, you people have the number of the president. Please help call Tinubu and tell him that the economy of today is worse than 30 years ago. Obasanjo did well and nobody should condemn him. Government and religion is the worst thing that has ever happened to Nigeria. Food scarcity, no security, high taxation, and how can the increase of taxation and no light in this nation cause so much crying and bleeding? But I will tell them that one day bushmeat will catch the hunter. Dan from Igondo from Lagos, just a lot of parables in there. I'm sorry, I can't. You
don't like parables?
It's just way too much parables in there.
Right.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, Pete.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Don
Yes,
Peters.
good morning.
Good morning, Don Peters.
Yes. I will be speaking on Obasanjo's comment.
I guess you are still in Enugu state, right? You are not in Lagos.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
still in Enugu.
All right.
I went back to Enugu, I think, 3 days ago.
Oh, okay.
I was in Lagos about 5 days ago.
Oh, okay.
All right. This Obasanjo's comments, anybody can say whatever he wants to say about Obasanjo, but my own opinion about Obasanjo's comment is this. Our leaders are not only wicked. I mean, they are not only clueless, they are very wicked. Why do I say so? You can imagine how every down thing in Nigeria is going, and we are blaming it on Obasanjo.
let me just tell us what Obasanjo achievement when he was the president of Nigeria. Obasanjo established a national industrial court. Obasanjo established ICPC. Obasanjo established EFCC. Obasanjo cleared our debt, and we, Nigeria, we started in a very clean slate. Obasanjo revamped our economy. Our economy was stable under him. This phone we are using, as I'm in Transekulu now, I can be able to communicate with you guys in Lagos, is Obasanjo's to credit to him. So we can say whatever we want to say about him, but believe you me, Obasanjo is spot on. I can say that he's the only Nigerian president that knows his onion. You can check all his ministers, as somebody said, and check whether all of them are still in politics up to today. Check about Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, Olusegun Oganga, Ajimogobia, and the rest of other people. He run Nigeria with technocrats, those who knows what they are doing. Not all these people who are bringing on politicians and who are making Nigeria dry. So as far as I'm concerned, Obasanjo knows what he's doing. Had he been all the president of Nigeria built on his foundation,
thank you,
we wouldn't be where we are today.
All
so
right.
That's my take. Thanks a lot.
All right, thank
And
you
God
very
bless.
much. Yes.
I really don't want to go into this argument, but just I'll call it.
Let's continue. Hello. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Fuad and the other lady in the studio there.
Good
Yes.
morning.
Yeah, Fuad, I
Your
came
name,
with a
sir.
complaint.
Your name, sir.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm Mr. Idahosa.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
calling from Bagada.
All right, sir.
Yeah, I'm calling in respect of, I want to launch a complaint about Opeyemi on his 4 o'clock afternoon show.
Can we
Send a
talk?
message.
You can send a message.
Send a message
Then
to
we'll get
WhatsApp.
back to you.
All right.
I'm not that platform.
Hey, no, on this
No,
call,
just-
this same number, on this same
That's
number.
my contribution. This call is my contribution.
It's not open mic Thursday.
It does not of my what he did yesterday. I don't like it, and he doesn't know the people that call. He only see that we call. He doesn't know us. I will take it personally and sue him to court for violating. I mean it for violating my right
To call the show.
on a freedom of speech.
Okay.
Whenever one calls and wanted to criticize the government, we sharply call the person of his protecting his job. You know, I told you last time, Fuad, that you are the best in media. You say it as it is. You have only 3 of you. You find you send the guru, who again, and you bet you are the number one. You do say it as it is. Are you people not protecting your job? But also, you know, I will sue him personally.
No. We'll address this after this. All right.
Just send a message to the WhatsApp.
No, we'll reach
All
out to you.
Send a message to the WhatsApp.
But we appreciate the fact that Nigerians want to talk. So
Yes,
we'll-
please. Just
yeah.
send a message. It will be
I will
addressed.
still call him by 4 o'clock and tell him this.
Thank you very much.
We'll be on the show by 4.
Hello. Yes,
Hello,
turn
good
down the volume on your radio if you will, please.
Yes, I have done that.
All right.
Good morning.
Yes.
You have to hear me. I am speaking on behalf of the North Central of Nigeria.
Okay.
North Central, Middle Belt. Nobody, the Middle Belt and the North can never ever compare any president, any leader with Obasanjo. Reasons being that Obasanjo have the mind of Nigeria. Why Obasanjo is Nigeria's leader, we know from day one. Why Buhari and others are wicked?
Okay. I think that we would maybe we should just pause on calls for now. All right. Let everybody.
And I think people need to understand that this is a radio platform.
It is.
There are better words to, I think you keep talking about it. That look on radio, there are words
You wanted
to.
to beat me.
No. Because this is radio and it's very regulated, and there are rules to the game.
Right.
So. We understand that sometimes these issues bring some form of emotions, but again, this is a public platform. It's not. We are not in the beer parlor in our private, confines where we can say anything we like, So
it's freedom of speech, but that freedom comes with caution.
Caution,
all right,
and
please.
a lot of responsibility too. Yeah.
But what we're going to do is take messages because we have a ton of messages. All right.
All
So
right,
don't worry, the conversation definitely continues. It doesn't end here. WhatsApp, we have leaders over the years, including him, Obasanjo, failed Nigerians, not Nigeria as a country. And I expect this confession to come with remorse and apology. Most regrettable part of this is that the set of people who has been holding the country in the jugular benefited immensely in their young years. But look at their payback to the generation following them. Chika Bende from Trade Fair in Lagos. The truth could not only be bitter, but sometimes very sore. We should first of all ask if the government is ready to hear the truth. If they were listening to the truth, which Baba Obasanjo have been saying since the era of Buhari, and if this government wants to succeed, they will simply just have taken all those facts on issues seriously. Are we talking about the truth in his statement or his own error, which he also admits? Borrowing and spending recklessly. How do we call someone who acts before thinking?
He has never admitted an error.
I'm still searching for the meaning in my dictionary, but yet to find it. It's clear that these people they call our leaders are really confused. Steve, thank you very much for your message. From Janiki, I believe.
Janiki,
Yes, top of the morning, Sage and Fuad. I am so sad this morning. So sad at the perversive injustice allegedly by the Lagos state government on the NSAS issue. This is not the focus of the day, all right? So you would please bear with me if I cannot take the message.
Yes, we put mic on Thursday.
Yes, so that means I'll have to take every other person's
Yes, we put mic on
message.
Thursday.
So on Thursday, you can definitely air this opinion, all right? Thank you for understanding. Another one on here, Gowon's refusal to honor Aburi's agreement with Ojukwu is the genesis of most of our problems today. That agreement would have set Nigeria on the safe platform to succeed. All eyes on oil money, but government, while the solid minerals are left to waste or enjoyed by bandits. Obasanjo's message is correct, but he is also part of the problem we have today. He should have set a strong standard, but I don't really know. Subsequent presidents, especially Buhari, have made it worse. Today, Tinubu continues with Buhari's legacy as he promised. Our judiciary and National Assembly's inability to tame the excesses of the executive are also our greatest undoing. Thank you very much. Let me take one more for WhatsApp and then go to Facebook, as we also have messages on there. Good morning to you, Sage and Fuad, and Pastor Sunday from Magboro. To start with, if I happen to become Nigeria's president in the nearest future, I will probe Obasanjo's 8 years regime. He laid the foundation for corruption in Nigeria and many other crimes. His best was not good enough for us as a nation. He should cease from criticizing others because he did the worst and nobody criticized him. If we have courageous people whose hands are clean before going into politics, definitely Obasanjo will not be able to survive the probe. He always brings people who will protect his interest into power, and when anyone goes against his game plan, he begins writing series of episodes.
Sage, I was going to ask the
public
question. When he
sympathy.
was going to hand over, the decision to support the late Yar'Adua, was that the best decision for the country? Was Yar'Adua the most qualified, the most intelligent, the most fit? Someone that obviously was sick, that he knew. At a stage on the campaign ground, Yar'Adua, are you dead? Are you dead? And that's the leader people are saying, what foundation?
We're going to go to Facebook right now. We have messages on here. When you said Obasanjo had the best opportunity to fix Nigeria and he missed it, what about Buhari? Didn't Buhari rule for good 8 years? Obasanjo is the best president in Nigeria history. Alfred Qatar on Facebook sent that message. Sule says, one of your caller was misinforming Nigerians by saying Obasanjo increased the salaries of legislators. That is a lie on national radio. It is the greedy legislators and the nation destroyers that appropriated themselves the jumbo salaries and allowances they are collecting today. Unwachuku Uloma says, good morning, mainland crew. Is only the supporters of a particular party that are aggressive over what Baba said. Let's just leave that conversation as that. I'm sorry I cannot take any more phone calls. Time is fast spent, but this is a lot of messages. We have here, good morning, Nigeria. This is General Apostle from Bansi. We shouldn't look up only. We should look down from what is wrong with our leaders. Most of them plan to do well. And the blood of... All right. You started so well. But then, please help me tell the person that says Obasanjo doesn't deserve an apology. His regime is better than the Buhari regime. Why did he not tell Buhari to tender an apology? Please let us know. it's just a lot of, it's an attack on a caller, so I'll just stop.
All right, yeah.
Good morning, Mainland FM. Timothy from Ojo. I beg APC in the name of Jesus Christ to return us to the bus stop where Obasanjo dropped. Where with just 500 naira, I could make a month of soup.
The bus don't move far.
And the bag of rice was 5,500. Please, I don't even.
Oh my goodness.
One more message, all right? I'm so sorry if I could not take yours. Good morning, Sage, Fuad, and the listeners. Chief Olusegun Obasanjo should first of all tell Nigerians how Operation Feed the Nation between 1976 through 1979 became OFN, Obasanjo's Farm Nigeria Limited. I don't know what that
Too
means.
many conspiracies around that anyway. But I know what I was trying to say.
Right.
The 70s there was Operation Feed the Nation. We were supposed to be a food subsistence kind of program under the Obasanjo government. But people have always said that, look, whatever he did then with acquisition of lands in different parts of the country eventually became his personal property. Like I said, allegations have been there for years that, look, he only transformed whatever he was able to do with acquisition of land all over the country to his own personal property. So OFN, Operation Feed the Nation, now Obasanjo Farms Nigeria. Again, these are allegations. Nobody has been able to probe that particular allegation.
Right. Okay.
No government has done that.
With context now, the message makes sense.
Yes,
I didn't really
in
understand
context,
what he was saying.
So that was what they call out the text I was saying.
Yeah, right. Well, we're going to have to say temporary goodbye for now. We're just going on a brief break, I promise you. But by 9:45, we're going to be back with Global View. Let's also analyze what's going on outside the country as much as we're trying to understand what's going on in our country and establish a relationship between how the activities of countries outside Nigeria also interferes with our own economic stability. My name is Sage Babalola. Fuad will also be here by 9:45 for Global View. Don't go anywhere. It's the sound of Lagos, Mainland 98.3 FM.